Hi all, this is Allmighty and welcome to this video. So today, the first draw of the day is brought to you by Wesley and Shakhriyar Mamedyarov. So I just wanted to show you this game since it is the first game that ended up being drawn in round 11 to kind of shed my light on these two players, kind of throw my opinion out there, and also until we wait for the other games to be finished, let's just go over this game. So on one side we have Wesley. So in general about both players, at any moment I didn't really see any opinion of the general public and the people who are going to be watching and watched the candidates tournament that they said that actually one of these two players will win the tournament. So Wesley, so it is his first time here. I also think Mamedyarov's first time. Mamedyarov went in being the second rated player in the world behind Magnus Carlsen, so I guess you can say at least with that maybe he has some chances. After all, myself, I said that he will win the tournament, but I said that, but also with a dose of skepticism behind it, because I didn't really know how Mamedyarov will fare against the strongest players in the world when playing in championship tournaments and tournaments where you play with your team. So when he plays with Azerbaijan, he goes out really well, but I didn't know how he will fare with these kinds of players of this caliber. And on the other hand, Wesley, so his first time, so I would just say that he has a bad tournament, so that this doesn't represent his true strength. He is an exceptional exceptional player with vast knowledge of the opening theory, and also his calculation is really good. So I'm a bit surprised that he is at the moment so second to last, so only in front of Liren Aronian, but what can you do? Some people have bad tournaments and not everyone can be in the top 3. So it just so happens that this year Wesley was 7th, but if he qualifies next year, I definitely don't think that he will also end up in the same manner. On the other hand, we have Mamedyarov, who is currently 2nd, and kind of always people are saying, now Caruana and Mamedyarov are fighting for that first place. But not at any moment did I saw Mamedyarov fighting for anything, because all of his games right from the opening are just going towards that draw. And also it is the same thing with this game. So you're playing against the person who is last in the tournament. Okay, you can say that on one hand Wesley doesn't have anything to lose, and he can just play for a draw. But on the other hand, I mean, you're half a point behind Caruana. You have this chance to actually be first in the tournament and actually go and challenge Magnus Carlsen for the title of the world champion. I mean, when I see Caruana playing his games, he's playing all of his games with some idea and just going for that advantage so that he can earn it and maybe win it in the end game or something like that, in that 50th, 60th move. It doesn't really matter. But Mamedyarov plays this really boring games, going out of the opening drawish and then just finishing up, and not saying too much. Maybe I was like going too far by saying that he will win the tournament, but at least I expected some exciting games for him. So going from that first round, which was actually exciting, even though it was a queen endgame with lots of combinations, where he won against Karjakin. Only other game that he won was against Kramnik, which essentially just gave away that h-pawn. But nothing really shown in my opinion, but okay. I will just show you this game, and I hope that Mamedyarov and the rest of the tournament will at least provide us one exciting game. I would really, even though I said and I had a bet with a friend that Mamedyarov will win this tournament, I would rather lose the bet than have Mamedyarov winning the tournament without playing any exciting game. So that being said, I will just show you the game. We have d4 knight to f6. So at this tournament, d4 has been played more than e4, but as we all know, if you play e4, you have an exciting game. After all, I think this guy Magnus Carlsen plays it a lot, so that tells you something. We have c4, e6, knight to f3, and d5, going for that Queen's Gambit declined system, and now g3 going for the Catalan. Bishop to e7, bishop to g2, castles, and the thing is, what you will see in this opening and then this variation is just so the same level of play you can expect of players of 2100, 2200. Just playing a normal variation, developing pieces, not doing anything extraordinary. I'm not saying that something is wrong with that, but if you are a person in a position like Mamedyarov, I would play, I don't know, c5, or I don't know, something exciting. Okay, you cannot play exciting games against Catalan. There was this game in the tournament between Liren and Caruana, I think, where there was b6, also d takes on c4, and after knight to e5, black gave up an exchange for activity. So why not play that? But we have here d takes on c4 and queen to c2. And now c6. So essentially closing off the whole position. D takes on c4 and now b5. So queen has to move back, queen to c2 and bishop to b7. Just developing the pieces. And now we have knight to c3. One thing I saw when I was actually analyzing this game is that Magnus Carlsen in 2006 also played this line. Of course, he probably played it a lot of times, but when he played this line, he actually played a4 here, and he had 2650 rating points around then, and he was playing much against a weaker player by 200 points, and in the end lost the game. I'm not saying that a4 is a bad move, but it's a little bit of a chess trivia there for you. Knight to c3 and knight from b to d7. As I said, just developing pieces, nothing too serious. We have rook to d1 and queen to b6. So all of the pieces just go on the places they should be going. We have knight to e5, now centralizing the knights, and we have rook from f to d8. So not taking and opening up the d file for white, rather putting your rook on the d file first. We have bishop to e3. Now potential threat is d5, so knight to d5 is played, knight takes on d5 and c takes on d5. So now even black got rid of his weak c6 pawn, and this is a dead drawn position. So at this point on, I don't think that neither white or black can actually expect having some advantage, because all the battle will be led on this c file, and you will see what happens next. So we have first rook from a to c1, and also black does the same. We have queen to d3, and now we have first b4, kind of expanding on the queen side. Rook takes on c8, and now bishop to c8. You cannot take with the rook because the knight is hanging. So we have queen to c2. Also possible move was rook to c1, also a more natural move, but yeah, here we have Wesley so playing queen to c2. Knight takes on e5, d takes on e5, and at this moment, Mamedyarov played a move that actually invites you to accept the draw. So this is move 19, and we have d4, giving up a pawn, but essentially exchanging all the pieces, because we have bishop takes on d4, rook takes on d4, queen takes on c8, and rook to d8. After that, rook takes on d8, queen takes on d8, queen takes on d8, and bishop takes on d8. So all of this, there's not really that you can do much about it, but all of this was played like in the series of moves. All the pieces were exchanged, so I can understand Wesley, so no need for pressure. He has second to last, so there is like a 0 chance that he can actually win the tournament. But Mamedyarov goes for this without thinking about it, and you would think now it is the 23rd move. Why not just draw the game? Okay, white has a pawn up, but it's an opposite color bishop endgame. So also, as I was started talking about golden rules of chess, about that 4 knights from yesterday, one other golden rule in chess, maybe that it should be, is playing the opposite color bishop endgame, especially in situations where you have all the pawns on the both sides of the boards equal. Doesn't make sense. So my advice to you, you should rather go for a B or settle for a draw, even if you're playing against the opponent, which is much weaker in you. Rating points, not rating points, doesn't really matter. I'd rather drink a beer than play this endgame. And okay, this is probably the first one of the first things that you'll learn when you come to a chess club. So let's just repeat it with the strongest players currently in the world. Let's play the opposite bishop endgame. We have b3, so blocking off this pawn for a little bit, bishop to c7 attacking, and f4. As you can see, he put all of these pawns on the opposite color of his bishop so that his bishop is free to roam all over the board. Bishop to b6 check, king to f1, and now bishop to e3, blocking off this pawn. We have h4 and h5, so what happens in this endgame, everything gets blocked and then nobody can make a move. Bishop to h3, king to f8, and king to g2, allowing his king go on the white squares, king to e7, king to f3, and bishop to d2, moving the bishop away because it was attacked, and now e3. We have bishop to e1, keeping an eye on this pawn, and now f5. E takes on f5 and bishop takes on f5, so now this pawn's even doubled, now they are kind of released. Maybe there are some ideas of pushing e6, and if pawn takes, then bishop to g6 taking this pawn, so kind of looking for some advantage, but here g6 is played by Mamedyarov, bishop to d3 and bishop to c3, attacking the pawn, and king to f4, now defending this pawn, and this pawn, and literally no advancement can be made, but they still play the game. Bishop to e1, bishop to c4, bishop to f2, bishop to d5, bishop to e1. So unnecessary moves with the bishops. King has to defend this pawn, and this king has to defend these pawns. Doesn't really make sense to do anything else. We have g4. You can now either take on h4, or you can take h takes on g4, king takes on g4, and bishop to c3 attacking this pawn. King to f4, and we have bishop to e1, king to g4, and finally in this position they agreed to settle for a draw. And yeah, this is pretty much it. I've talked probably even too much during this video about the players and about my general opinion, but this is it. Currently the other games are still played. Of all the games I saw, Liren has some maybe a little advantage against Grischuk, and that is it. So yeah, that being said, I would like to thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next time.